All right, guys, here we go. Friday, November 4th. Going to look at Litecoin and kind of some back history on this. I actually stumbled into crypto the first quarter of 2017, and Litecoin was my first coin, crypto to buy. And oh my gosh, that year, 2017, yeah, I honestly got really spoiled on crypto and the continuation of, run up after run up after run up. But that's another story, okay? But anyway, Litecoin always be close and dear to my heart, kind of what got us started off. But anyway, here we go. I think we're going to look back in history and see that the low was put in both on Litecoin and Bitcoin around, the middle of June of this year. A lot of people still waving the flag that we're going to see, sub 10,000 Bitcoin or whatever. And yeah, anything's possible in this crazy game. But as the dollar, gets weaker and weaker, as we're seeing today, if you look at the charts, we're having a melt up. And not only crypto over here, some of these are already in the double digits of percent gains, including Litecoin. And, you're going to see that in the stock market and stuff as the dollar gets weaker. So we're seeing a melt up, run up into the first, maybe into the second quarter of 2023. Man, already. I just like we just got into 2022. And then, we're looking for a big slam down pullback, however you want to say it. But let's just talk about what's going on right now. As you can see, we had our blue arrow here points to, the scale in. We like to scale in. We don't like to put everything in there. So we show our Patreon members just to scale in, 10, 15, 20%, depending on what your, risk management is. And the reason being, I'll just go ahead and tell you a few secrets here. After a sideways consolidation zone, which we had 3, 6, 9 days of, we had a bullish engulfing this. Let me see if I pull it in green. Bullish engulfing takeout candle, clearing candle is what we call it, taking everything to the left out basically, and over the 20. That's a big, secret of the things we look for. So. Anyway, that was, scale in. Then another inside bar. We were trading inside this candle bar. Yeah, we wicked over it, closes over it, but we stayed inside it. We didn't, come back down and, nothing took it out. Again, consolidation, boom, breakout, and here we are. Now, we're looking at this high pivot area, sideways consolidation zone over here as potential, resistance. Okay, because we've already run technically. Let's see here. Let's take this breakout candle. I'm not even, going back to where it actually broke out. We're just taking the close of this one up to where we are now. It's about, about 20% run, which is pretty darn good in this market. And, from there, let's see, from this high pivot, let's see if we've knocked out what percentage. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, the halfway zone here, 0.5 fib. Normally, as you're coming up into the fib line, the 0.5, basically half of your run from the swing out of swing low, that's going to be a little bit tough resistance. So, yeah, we could see this coming up into, let's just call it $73 for whole round even numbers, 73 bucks. So, yeah, that's where we think that resistance will come in, and potentially what we could see is up and then a pullback and then continuation. Now, this is the trick, okay? Very few people know this. On this run up, the lighter the pullback, the more shallow the pullback, higher odds, higher probability you're going to well overshoot that on the next pivot up, the next 180, reversal to the upside. So basically what you're putting in a W formation. That's what we look for. Now, if you, let me restart this. Now, if you, on this leg up, if you come back, within the 50% of that, run up or lower, then, it's going to be harder to take out that top. You're probably going to have to put in another, higher low and go. So you want to stay above that halfway of the leg, 50% of that. You want to stay above that if possible. Of course, I'm making it sound like, you personally can keep the price, above 50%, but you know what I'm saying. Okay, so let me run through that again. You have a leg up, and then you do not want to go under half of that. If you stay in this upper, hopefully the upper third, then man, you are looking great. Coming down to the 50% zone, it's kind of questionable, kind of, crossing your fingers that you'll bounce at that point. I mean, you can still get up and over the top here, but it's going to take you maybe, a little bit longer, maybe another rest, another low, higher low, and then go. So anyway, that's expectations. Let's look at the weekly real quick. I haven't even looked at this myself. Yeah, that's looking, this swing eye came down this whole leg here. Like we were talking about, there's 50% of it. Now, looking at it, coming up into that 50% zone, this is what we want. If I can get this to work, coming up there, and if we get rejected, like I said, we need to stay in the upper third and then get over that zone, come up to that point 618, maybe wave down again, and then around 100 to 104 you have several factors. The more factors that you have, higher the odds, higher probability. This is probably this is going to be 83 to, and you can mark this down and see if I'm kidding you or not. When we get in this zone around this 100 to 104 area, you have one factor. Two is the 200. Well, one is the low pivot here. That was support. Now it's going to be resistance. Two, you had the flat 200, which is hellacious to get through. And three, you had that 0.786 fib. So three factors. So we have close to an 87% chance of when we hit that pulling back, which is fine. Okay. I mean, so we're not going to blow through here. Now, time will tell, but the more factors you have, realistic factors, the higher the odds, higher probability that what you anticipate is going to play out. Okay, so I'm trying to see if there's anything else we need to look at. But of the total move, we came down pretty low here on the total move from the COVID slam down back in 2020. Did we? I mean, basically, you could say we really came deep into it here. So possibly, like we were talking about earlier in the video, this area here was our bottom, and then we can run up, through the first quarter or so of 2023. All right, guys, appreciate your time, and check us out on Patreon, and we will see you on the charts.